eighth house is revenge. He's getting some kind of revenge. Welcome to Royal Revelations. I am Val Evans, and it's July 19th, 2024. Thanks for joining me live or on replay. We've got some more royal predictions for you, and we've got charts and cards together today with Amber from Taurus Moon Tarot, who can help us with mysteries that we see in the astrological charts. So if you'd like ad-free content, click the join button and get our predictions with no interruptions. Also, you can hit the bell for notifications on future shows. A special thanks to valedictorians, the members who make this content possible. We are live every Friday at 4:30 Eastern, 9:30 p.m. BST. This show is all about how to teach you about solar return charts and making your own predictions.
Make accurate predictions about your life by the month using your solar return chart. It's a calendar starting on the first month of your birthday and reveals life-changing events throughout your year.
We learn a lot about forecasting our own lives by watching the astrology of others like the royal family, especially keeping an eye on the North Node, what you get in any given year. And we just saw that with Meghan Markle's solar return chart, the year she got married, and Princess Diana's. And so we're going to talk about that, about solar returns today, and what your solar return chart might have in store for you this year. Now, I am going to, just mention that check out my Secret Career Code book. It's new on Amazon, all about career minded people who are interested in astrology and making predictions based on your career and job situation. And to pull your AstroSeek solar return chart, you can click on the top right solar return, whatever year you've had your last birthday, and then click the solar only tab and you'll see your chart. Now, the first house is the month that you're going to start, which is your birthday month, the calendar. And I'm going to welcome Amber. She is on YouTube and you can see her at Taurus Moon Tarot 761. I think we're going to start with Prince Charles. We are going to focus on July 14th to August 14th. We've got Prince Charles, Prince Andrew, Camilla. We've got a lot of royals to talk about today. Hey, Amber, nice to see you.
Hi. Happy to be back again.
I've got so much to ask you today. And actually, you wanted to talk a little bit about general astrology too. And I just want to explain real quick what I've got up on the chart, and then I'll toss it to you.
Okay.
But isn't that weird how we're looking at the month of July 14th to August 14th and look at Uranus in an opposition in the ninth house. This is an international cybersecurity crisis, it looks like, that's in his chart. Now, maybe it's something else, Sometimes it means an interruption in someone's marriage. This looks like it is pretty big with that big opposition with Uranus. So we were talking back and forth on looking at these charts and, how do you start, right?
Yeah. Yes. I was thinking about it. I do my best thinking when I should be sleeping. I'm probably not the only woman that does that, but I was thinking about when I look at a chart, I feel like I am lost in a foreign land and I have no idea. I can't understand the language. And when I hear you, I feel like I understand the language. I could get by and order a pizza. But when you open the chart, what is the first thing that you just habitually know to begin with? What do you start with?
It's a great question because I think it's different for everybody
Okay.
because I think it has to do with your birth chart. what you're going now. Everybody has, there are rules. So if you have any Capricorn in your birth chart, you're going to want to have a set of rules
Right.
or your own set of rules. But
Yeah.
I tend to just take a step back and look
Yeah.
at, I go general first. Like I'll see
Right.
where the stelliums are. Are they,
Okay.
are they at the bottom? Are they at the top? And sometimes I'll react like, wow,
Right.
because maybe there's like 6 or 9 planets or points like over 3 houses at the top of the chart. That's really strong. Like a 20,000-foot approach where you're kind
Mm,
of, it's almost as if you're in an airplane and you're like, okay, well, there's the water,
right.
there's the mountains, and then you
Okay.
get closer and closer in. And
Yeah.
then you start looking at the angles are really important. Of course, the ascendant is the most important because that
Okay.
will give the indicator of the chart ruler.
Right.
And then, if you've got a collection of planets around any of the angles, which of course, for anybody who doesn't know astrology, it's those dark lines
Right.
that are the A, C, I, C, D, C, and MC in the chart. And that usually is a huge clue. Like if there's
Yeah.
a bunch or even one planet
Mhm.
by the angle, it's like,
Mm,
okay, wait a minute, we've got to go to that first.
yeah.
But, yeah, and then sometimes you can get in the weeds, so you have to back up again. You gotta get out of the woods,
Yeah.
get back on the road, and
Right.
then you go back to the chart ruler and say, "Okay, let's start again."
Yeah. You go down one path and take a look around, and then you go back and go down a different path.
Right, you don't wanna get too lost.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's like going through the jungle. It's also one of the things I do as a Pisces is I kind of take on the feeling of
Mm,
the planet. I mean, you're good at astrology. In fact, you
I,
pick out stuff that I don't see sometimes.
yeah.
So I think you've been doing this a while.
I have been. It's been a very long time, but sometimes I think I get stuck on aspects. Like I
Okay.
see the aspects, and that I feel like is the detail. And then I have to, like you said, pull yourself back out of that and get a little
Mhm.
broader perspective. When I see a big mess of, this, I start to
Yeah.
get very, I don't know where to start. Yeah.
And sometimes, what will help you is if you go into a chart and you take off some of the aspects, it'll
Yeah.
make it a little bit cleaner chart.
Yeah.
So it just depends, depends
Yeah.
on sometimes like I won't have the aspects on, let's say, point of fortune, or let's
Right.
say the nefarious Black Moon Lilith. Well,
Mm,
I'll want to know who's got that Black Moon Lilith energy. So I'll
right.
add that minor aspect to see,
Right.
where it goes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me get started here
Mhm. Yeah.
with, so we've got this Uranus in at the top in the ninth in Taurus. And this is just starting for him. Now, this looks to me like something that is shocking. And we were worried, or I should say concerned, for this whole year for him, wondering what that was. So
Yeah.
it could be a cybersecurity attack.
Mm,
Um, but it's also something that is shocking in the news that's happening. And it goes to, and I'm going to talk about Prince Andrew a bit,
mm,
and it looks very, very intense between them.
yeah.
And especially with Uranus and Mars opposing, that's kind of concerning too.
Yeah.
So my first thought is this is a cutting of the ties
Yeah.
with Andrew.
Mhm.
There's also something shocking in the news. It could be that cybersecurity, um, issue. International, ninth house is international,
Yes.
but often it's a breakup. It is a breakup with perhaps a sibling or even neighbors. And
Yeah.
so I thought maybe you could give
Hmm.
us a card and maybe tell us what you think.
Yeah, the card that jumped out was the first one I pulled earlier, the Sagittarius card. So ninth house things, and there's
Oh,
this plane image on here, which is very Uranus. So I thought that was really interesting that the chart
okay.
has ninth house activity, Uranus, and that opposition makes me think about air travel. Not necessarily related to today's news, but I want to clarify that because it matches a little bit of what's in the chart. I did wonder if there would be ninth house or Sagittarius themes.
It's a plane.
Yeah, yeah, it has that, and it also has a horse on there. Makes me think
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
um,
lots of, it was weird. I was just seeing, I showed this to you about Prince Harry hurting his back, Leo,
yeah,
in that
mhm,
polo accident in 2015. And, with Anne, now she's feeling better. She's making her
yeah,
appearances now a little bit. But, yeah, there's been some things that are sudden here.
yeah. Well, this is very interesting. This has, like you just said, very local energy to it. Something very close. That even though it's the Sagittarius or ninth house, there's something also very close to home. Um, Within the four walls, that's kind of, there's like a death within the walls, this 10 of swords and this 5 of wands. There's it's a little bit of competition, a little bit of anger with the knight of wands, frustration, or uh someone who is very impulsive. There's an impulsive energy around it. I want to get a different deck to ask what it is. What is this impulsivity?
Could be an argument with that Mars in the third house.
Yeah, and
Could
I
be
now
arguing.
two separate decks I have the same card, which is actually around work. So this is the
Ah.
8 of Pentacles is a work card. Someone actually not low on the totem pole. I don't know if it's someone that's being hired. This is someone that's sort of showcasing their skill set. Are they hiring someone from far away? Yeah, it almost feels like there's competition for a position. That's what I'm getting. I don't know what that is.
Again, yeah. There's
And
lots of
maybe
jockeying.
someone has to go for someone else to come in. That might be quite shocking. That could be Andrew. I don't know. Like,
It's funny though because Prince William and Princess Catherine just hired someone new.
oh,
So I wonder, I mean,
ooh,
that's their staff, so
right.
maybe something totally
Mm,
separate, maybe in
yeah.
Andrew's camp. So interesting. Okay. Hey, Molly. Uh, all right. So,
Did they hire someone from outside of the UK? Or do
uh,
you
I
know if we
don't
know?
know. I don't know.
Hmm.
We'll have
Okay.
to check that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I've got North Node here. Always like to look at North Node in your solar return chart. I always talk about it. It's because what you're supposed to receive this year. And when it's got a bunch of red lines all over it, it's like, well, you were supposed to get it, but not this year, or
Yeah.
it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
And we saw that with Prince William. We were like, "Oh, it's a win," but, well, wait a minute, what there's something that is
Yeah.
holding it off a bit.
Yeah.
And you had predicted the win a few days before,
Yeah.
um,
It was Switzerland?
maybe it was Switzerland. So that
Switzerland?
was right.
Sweden?
So it's like a yes and then a no. And
Yeah.
so I thought what was super interesting was that when you have the moon in good aspect in your solar return chart that year, it means if you're doing something that has to do with the public seeing you, especially
Yeah.
in the ninth house.
Yeah.
The ninth house is the newspapers, and it is trining the north node, and that means receiving. So he's receiving
Mm,
attention, and it's good. Like the public loves to see him. They're like, "Oh,
right.
isn't it so funny how he's acting so intense in the game and all of that?"
Yeah.
But what was also, I thought, interesting is the North Node means fake. So North
Mm,
Node in Aries means like being fake angry. So
yeah.
that's pretty funny. I
Yeah.
still I
Love it.
still think that there are probably a few things that are going on that maybe are not public. So
Yeah.
um, about what he's receiving versus what he's not receiving.
Yeah.
So that was, I thought, revealing there. I mean, he's got some yays and nays for sure,
Yeah.
both equally as strong. Now, I want to look at, we're getting into July 21st to August 21st for him, and that is his second house now. Now, Venus rules this house because it's in Taurus. So we also want to look at Venus, and that is next to Mercury. Mercury rules his dad this year because the fourth house, cusp, is in Gemini. That's Mercury. That represents dad. So it
Okay.
looks like he and dad are doing some very important things, positive things, and Mars being in the second house. This is about money. And it was funny
Mm,
because I was asking you, what you thought about what we should talk about today. And you said financial topics.
yes,
And
this Ace of Pentacles.
yes. Oh, okay. Wait.
Yes,
Uh,
it's
okay.
a
Hold
very
on. Hold on.
bright
Hold on.
card.
Okay.
Yes, the Ace of
So
Pentacles.
that's the beginning of something new?
It
Or
is. It's something new that could be playing out over the period of a year. This is sort of a kickoff of a year of financial things. It does
okay.
represent inheritance and big windfalls and, a lot of money. It's a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can see there that Charles, he cannot do certain things. He is in that red T square, the triangle, which means he's stopped.
Yeah.
But, you know, you guys, you're seeing that Black Moon Lilith, and
Hmm.
it is squaring Prince Charles.
Yeah.
And this would be one of these questions I would prefer to ask you offline.
Yeah.
But this looks like something that there might be some fudging going on. And I wanna know what could be happening. Now, this could also be, something that maybe is trying to harm Prince Charles, but
Mm.
I think that there's some kind of a plan that is not so good. Not
Yeah.
a good idea. It's a bad plan.
Mm.
So I want to know, is there some kind of financial plan that is being hatched? You don't have
Hmm.
to get into details.
Yeah. The other card that I pulled before we jumped on together was the Queen of Cups, which is Camilla. So I don't know if this plays into if she's part of the plan or if that's the feminine energy. Judgment. Wow, that's a big deal. Something that is a major, like path changing decision. This is massive.
Okay.
Um, hmm, I'm out.
Oh my God.
Just every time. Every time. The Judgment and the Tower. This is a massive, massive disruptive event, if we want to say event or plan, that demolishes something completely.
I'm getting chills because we always get that you always get the tower. And I'm saying that because I should say always when we're focused on certain matters.
Hmm.
Lot of them King Charles.
Yes.
But could there be something, and keeping in mind that the new leadership, I wonder if that is pushing towards something where the rules have to be changed.
Hmm.
Something is the landscape might be different for the royal family and not in their favor. However, with this chart, you can see that Prince William is down there in the second house. I'm not sure that's Prince William because he's really Neptune.
Yeah.
But there's who's that Mars? Mars is going well, it is in the first house, so that's still William, and he's helping somehow. Uh, hmm.
So
See,
I just also got the King of Cups, which is the Scorpio King. So I that's Charles to me always, this King of Cups. With the
okay.
Three of Wands, the first thing that popped into my mind was something related to foreign. I don't know about, there's a place that they have an empire, the British Empire, or they have, land that's offshore from the UK. Is there a
Mhm.
change in the royal. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. It made me think of foreign locations. That is
Okay.
the shift. No longer under the royal family's area. They're just not part of that place anymore.
That's interesting that you say the word shift,
Mm-hmm.
because in the charts I'm going to show you, the word was transform and change. So I
Mm-hmm.
think shift could be in there. Are they allowed to
Yeah.
shift? Like, I mean, are we allowed to do that kind of shifting? Probably not. It's shifty, maybe. But we'll continue the discussion. And he's down here. He's either not able to do something that he wanted to do this year, and this is Prince William's chart. We look at the ninth if we want to see if the press is going to get wind, and that's Jupiter here. It's in the third house. It doesn't seem like they're going to find. There's no big clash. I don't see with whatever's going on here. So it's kind of like. Do you ever watch Eddie Izzard? He's like, yeah, and then he's like, whoa, 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 let's get back, winning the war. We can't with Russia. It was a funny joke, but that's kind of like them. They're kind of like, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's change course and go this way. And it seems like Prince William is involved somehow.
Yeah.
Now, King Charles is,
I can't see the chart,
oh,
but
oh, oh, okay, sorry.
maybe that's only me.
I get off on my tangents. Now, with King Charles, this is August 4th. This is a new moon, and it's right on his Pluto, which is what we were talking about before. So this is a transformation. Transformation is coming, and the seeds are being laid August 4th. Yeah, 12 degrees Leo. Now, we're going to look real quick at King Charles' progress chart, 2024. And oh my God, 4 planets in Aquarius with his ruler of the progress chart retrograde and conjunct Mars. He is very, very angry. Not only is he angry, but it's opposing Pluto. And this is beyond angry. This is beyond. And he's angry at a lot of things, and he's being tested. When you have all of this in your 5th house and then in opposition with Pluto, this is like it's like a war in a sense. It's super, super angry. But anyway, Aquarius is the cybersecurity stuff too. It's documents. So there's something happened with those documents. We're always talking about the documents. Where are those documents? Now, I'm going to move on to Queen Camilla. What are your thoughts about her lately? Have you been
I mean,
keeping
I've
up?
loved, yeah, seems to be, sort of making her appearances. She looks
Mhm.
well. She's always sort of, shoulder to shoulder with the king. And I love
Yes.
that. I love that they do that together. Um, but I do wonder, there's like a veil over her in my mind. There's something missing, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We
Yes. It's interesting how there's been press about Prince Charles getting very testy because did you see that whole thing about his robe? And then it
no.
was the pages were not, well, maybe they were doing their job, but he was very irritated about his robe during the ceremony. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, for the yes,
Yeah, for
when the government took
introducing the
over.
Labor Party or
Yeah,
the changeover, whatever.
yeah.
And then I think Camilla, she got caught in the rain and she couldn't get her coat on, and so they had lip readers. What is it with lip readers these days? Like that's like the thing.
That is
Yeah.
a great job.
So they do this lip reading on Queen Camilla and or no, on Prince Charles, and apparently he's saying for God's sakes help her or something like that because it's like raining out and whatever. But There's something about being with a man who everybody thinks is very difficult, but he
Yeah.
adores you. There's got to be some kind of like ego boost. Uh,
Hmm.
so he definitely looks out for her. And this is Camilla just had a birthday. I think was it
Yeah.
yesterday or the day before? And
Yeah.
so she is a Capricorn rising. And so oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Yeah. So this is, she's feeling like a Capricorn. Sometimes it can mean that your first month is a little slow.
Mm.
And, it's just like you don't feel like you're at full capacity
Hmm.
when you have that first month in your solar return. So, what we would do is okay, Saturn rules the first house. So, where is Saturn? So, this is going to rule her for the whole year, and that would be Saturn retrograde. Normally in the second house, this would be somebody who's maybe a little bit depressed about money, doesn't have enough money, but not Camilla because she has the Saturn in, oops, hold on. She has Saturn in this huge blue grand trine, the big blue triangle. And this is good. Like this gets her back up to almost full strength with that Saturn trining moon. Everybody loves a moon trine. It helps you. She has that all year. If your chart ruler has a trine to the moon, oh my God. Like you could have almost anything go wrong and somebody's going to be helping you.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really good for her. And then there's a trine to the sun in the seventh house, which is, of course, her partner and her ego. Her ego is pretty good, pretty
Mhm.
healthy this year because
Yeah.
she's got money, she's got her partner, she's looking good in the press.
Yeah.
So that's really positive for her. And there is this one person here, Mercury in Leo, that is kind of messing it up a little bit. And that person might be royal because of Leo. So we would look to see, we would look to see where Mercury rules, and it rules the fifth and it rules the eighth. So the eighth house is your partner's money, and it's also the fifth house of family. But it could be her family with Charles, but it could also be the Parker Bowles family.
Right. Right.
And there's somebody that is kind of throwing off the triangle. Uh, my thought is it's probably someone close to Charles because it's Leo. I don't know. It's hard to say because Camilla's family's name is Parker, which is Leo.
Yeah.
Could be somebody with two names, which would be Mercury. I don't know. Parker
Mm.
Bowles. It could be the Parker Bowles family. But anyway,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say and ask is who is that Mercury? It's not going to come into play maybe until um not for a while. Not for a while. Maybe 6 months and it's like, "Oh my god, you wrote a book," or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. So what do you think?
I would say you're right that it could be her children, but it's the Six of Pentacles. So if there's
Oh,
someone sort of, you know, asking for more, 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 someone who just cannot stop asking more, please, and it's someone
mm.
younger. It looks like someone feeding, children. Um, wow. King of Cups, there's Charles. So is it Charles's children? Child? I
Oh,
don't know.
right. Harry.
Yeah. Um, hmm, Page of Pentacles. So that's just confirmation that it's a child. Obviously they are adult children. Or is this grandchildren? I would say grandchildren, possibly. Is
Okay.
she?
It's
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Is, is there anyone in the family that we know is an Aries? Because the Fool card came out when I asked for more detail. So maybe it's someone who's born in April, late March, April.
Mhm.
I'm not sure of all their birthdays on the Parker Bowles side. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm
that
not
would
either.
be the homework, I suppose.
It's a pretty strong red line. This is a strong
Hmm.
square.
Yeah.
And that means that I think it's beyond a request, a private request.
Yeah.
It's something that I think could be in the news where it gets
Hmm.
out that somebody's demanding something and there's like an inner back and forth
Hmm.
and the person isn't getting what they want, maybe, I don't know, but it seems kind of tense there. It's throwing off her triangle.
Yeah. Yeah. The Three of Pentacles, a negotiation, and the Moon of something that's under the surface. So certainly could be something that maybe is revealed or comes out from under the shadows.
Okay.
The Moon card.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Now we've got the moving van here. I'm going to get to that. This looks like something that has to do with moving. And I know you were shocked when I sent you the because we were talking about what the subject would be. We kind of don't pick it until the last minute.
Yeah.
And I sent this to you only because I just happened to be looking at her chart and I was like,
Mm.
wow. She has Uranus in the fourth, conjunct Mars. That's that man on the roof again, remember? There's a man on the roof.
Yes.
And this is also squaring Mercury, which is what we were just talking about. This is a huge shock of something that it almost like she's walking on cloud nine, and then this happens. Now, this is going to happen July, August, September, October. I think this will be October 18th. Did I put her birthday? I forget it, but it's like mid month. Yeah, there it is. That Uranus and Mars. Now, this is an angry breakup. It is also, if you want to take out the anger, and you just want to look at the Mars, and I mean, this could be a hammer and nails, this could be, she decides that she wants to redo, one of the palace rooms or something. She wants to change it. Something has to be changed very, very aggressively, which is that Mars. But whenever you see Uranus in your fourth, it usually means you're going to move that year. And where's she going to go? What is she going to do? And let's see, I wanted to show you too. Here is, okay, let me just erase this. You've got a nice blue trine to Uranus too. It is a big transformation of some sort. It's almost like nobody has requested this change before. It could have something to do with the living quarters. Are they putting two palaces together to make one? But whatever it is, it seems as if it's part of this plan because of the blue triangle and what's up at the top, Black Moon Lilith. Now, eighth house is real estate. So it could be this, kind of secret real estate plan to help them. But it seems like it might be some type of let's do this, but let's not really say what we're doing. What do you think about that?
As you were mentioning that, I pulled so many things that mirror exactly the words you shared. So I have the Four of Wands, which is real estate and the home. The Eight of Wands, which is a move or change. It could be communication about it. This is the change that, like you said, a transformation, a renovation, making this to that. It's this and now it's that. And one of the things that first came out was the Four of Swords, which is, an image of inside of a cathedral or some kind of, religious sanctuary. So is there a renovation to some kind of, historic building that is not a home, but maybe will be a home, or vice versa, where there's a cathedral, sanctuary type turned into a guest home for someone else? And is it related possibly to Andrew? Is there some shift of him being sort of booted from one location into something else that's being converted, is the word that comes to mind.
Yeah, I think it's Andrew. I
Yeah.
think that this is a big, big year for him
Yeah.
where he is pissed, and there are things that are just he can't control anything, it seems, this year
Yeah.
with family, with money. It is all not in his favor. And so, with all of this stuff going on, he's like, well, wait a minute, what about me? And
Yeah.
so, you're going to add, and this is in my mind. So, you're
Yeah.
going to add my real estate to what you're doing so that you can put it all together for yourself. And
Mhm.
whose
Yeah.
idea was this anyway? Oh, it was Camilla's.
Uh-huh.
So I wonder if, she's making some suggestions as
Yeah.
to what's happening there with that
Mhm.
real estate. It
Yeah.
seems like a scheme to me. It
Yeah.
seems like something is happening where it is going to throw somebody for a loop. And what we would do is this is Charles here. Just want to make sure you can see it. Okay. This is
Yeah.
Charles in the seventh. He's the moon in her chart. Moon in Scorpio.
Mhm.
Hello. I mean, my God. And squaring 1, 2, 3. His brother is Venus, though, because that's 3 signs from him in Libra would be Venus. So yeah, you can see how there's a big red triangle. This is a fight, fight, fight,
Yeah.
big fight. And I wonder if you don't want everyone fighting. What's the diplomatic approach here? And does seem, it seems as if Andrew is going to get some money. The second house, he's got a trine. So this is Andrew, and there's a trine. So he's going to maybe get paid off, something like that. He wants something, he can't have it. He's going to get money instead. So at least that's something. But it does look pretty intense with this Uranus there in the fourth house. This is something where I would like to know, is she and Prince, well, maybe I should just say, is she going to move? She's going to move somewhere else. She's going to lay her head in a different palace.
Yeah. Wow. That I usually see this. Well, it's either way. That's a yes. That's a yes to something changing. The death card represents that change.
Wow.
And you said it could be in October? Was
Yep.
that this?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was a Libra card for timing.
Fourth house, that her house changes, but
Yeah.
there's something like she's over let me see, let me double check. Yeah,
It will be good. I think it will be good.
okay. She's here. It seems as if her year on the whole is pretty good, but there are some things that are she's just going to want to or wish that she's at the next month. So she's going to be like, November, when is November going to get here? Her husband not only is the moon, but Jupiter always represents a partner. It's in the fifth house in Gemini. We talk about Gemini all the time. Can I ask you, now this won't be till maybe the holidays or something, but what is this? Is this King Charles's twin? Like, why is he in Gemini? I guess maybe they're talking about family, they're talking about family money, but I would love to know as it pertains to Queen Camilla's solar return chart, which is what we're looking at, her
Mhm.
destiny calendar this year. We're looking at November and Jupiter in Gemini. What does that mean? What's the twin?
Yeah. This is interesting. The Hierophant came out, which, oh, and the Queen of Wands. So I almost felt like the Hierophant, and I saw at the very bottom of this particular card, you could see there's a set of keys. So keys to the kingdom.
Oh my
And
God.
the Queen
To
of
the
Wands,
house.
it does feel like well, it could be, this is not the right word, but like a faction where she's establishing something, very sophisticated in her own right, her own establishment. I'm not talking about a charity or, I mean, maybe an organization, but she's in more power and control with the Queen of Wands, that she's in charge of the
Okay.
house. This is a very much lady of the organization, lady of the house kind of thing. Key to the kingdom.
So does that mean she's going to a different palace to
It
live?
could be, yes, and I have very much Scotland vibes with the Queen of Wands. Ah, look at that, with him, with the King of Wands together in a partnership. Now that could just be yeah, typically they're together. Let me see this one more. Makes everybody very happy to be together. So I think if they're moving, they're going together. She's in charge of something new on her own. Yeah.
Okay. Lisa James asking, which deck is that, please? It's lovely.
Oh, I know. It's my newest, and it's the Gold Foil Tarot.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. The 1909 series. It's very heavy. I feel like it's gilded in real gold. It's very heavy.
So appropriate.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So the twins, though. So the final answer for that?
Well, there was another.
It's like two families.
It's like multiple families with that 10 of Cups. It's not just her. Let's see what it is. Yes, generational. Interesting. That's like two different generations, not just all in one. So maybe closer to people. Two families, two different families.
That's Christmas. That's around Christmas time. Wait, let me see what date that is. Okay, so her birthday, July 17th, July, August, September, October 17th to November 17th is when this little thing might activate. And so this is November 17th to December 17th. This is holiday stuff. This is a good holiday.
Yeah.
I think lots of talking and lots of moving around. When you have in your chart, you've got a nice aspect to the nodes. This one's the south node and the north node. It's a freedom of some sort to just kind of plan whatever you want, do whatever you want.
I have the Fool card just then too.
Oh,
freedom.
Really?
That represents some freedom for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been pointing to the north node and you didn't see it. Okay, so this is south node and the north node, and this is Charles here. And so you can see a nice sextile and a nice trine. It's two or more families. It's around the holiday. Fifth house shows the holiday. So good for them. And 2 months out of the year show Gemini. Oh, except this is Gemini up here. I bet you that's Harry. They're trying to do their holidays, but then that's the person's trying to gain access, and cannot do that. And Harry maybe having that with that square to the moon. That's Dad up here. Dad in Camilla's chart is Moon and Jupiter. It's tough. It's tough. It's going to be sad because I think it's probably Harry thinking this will be the last time I can see my dad for the holidays. I mean, if it gets to that point, but yeah. So, big financial issue though coming. This is Neptune and it is opposing Black Moon Lilith in Camilla's second house, and then I'm going to move on to Andrew's chart in a second because
Yeah.
it's kind of eye opening. But this Neptune, it's here's the other thing too. Besides that, look at this. It The fourth house is right in Algol territory.
Mm.
So this person here, I think, is trying to do something devilish, as usual, but not sure who that is. I mean, it could be more. Mercury's talking. Mercury is writing.
Yeah.
Mercury is saying. But with the Neptune opposing Black Moon Lilith, this is Charles's money. And
Mm.
somebody, I think, is advising Charles's group or whatever on something. When
Mm.
you see Black Moon Lilith in everybody's gonna see a Black Moon Lilith in one of their months, you gotta say, okay, if there's an opposition or a square, this is something that you need to write down and mark down or
Yeah.
remember. And so I would like to know, does this Black Moon Lilith have something to do with somebody who's trying to lie and scheme about maybe his possessions? Somebody's coming in, it seems.
Hmm. For the money. Let's see. Ooh, I think you're onto something. That just flew out of my hand, the devil card. So that certainly is someone who might be conniving behind the scenes.
This is like a
Not
fraudster. This is a fraudster.
fraudster. Ooh, the justice card though. That's a nice counteractive card for justice to prevail, not to get away with it. But someone is standing their ground with Seven of Wands. It's like it's a digging heels in, and refusal to see something. Let's see. Yes, the World card. Let's see what's underneath of it. The Virgo. I was looking to see if there were any representations of people, and I have the Hermit. So Virgo, that's also, sixth house stuff. Is this, it's almost like there's a negotiation going on with someone. There's a negotiation. I don't know if I said that earlier, and it's a complete stalemate. And someone on one side or the other tries to sort of skirt around that stalemate to make it happen, and someone has to walk away from it, because it's just going absolutely nowhere. They're not getting what they're trying to achieve. It's
Okay.
not successful.
This could be yet again another member of the press too, because there is a sextile to Black Moon Lilith, which is what we would do is we would combine the energies. It's kind of like a sexy woman too.
Mm.
And let me just show you real quick. This is Venus. This is a sextile to Black Moon Lilith,
Mm.
and then a trine to Pluto. This is someone that's like, very tempting, or there could be a temptation of money of some sort, but it's the ninth house. So this is court. It's also the press. So it seems like a female. A female's
Mm.
coming in to do some kind of tempting. Maybe it's financial. I don't know. So I would say look out for her, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We get any kind of adjectives or any kind of clues from the cards about who that female is. She's got a lot of hair.
Well, I just asked that, and the bottom of the deck, I just flipped it over. It's the Empress. But I just before that, the card that flew out asking about description of the person is the Queen of Swords, and she's all business. Super smart. Could be an attorney, could be a doctor, someone professional. But look at her. Let's see, reddish blonde hair. I would say strawberry blonde, not a brunette. I don't know if that shows up.
Yeah.
Wasn't it in Leo or Venus? Yeah.
Leo. Venus and Leo.
So that could be either of these two cards.
Interesting. The Temptress.
Yes, with the Empress and the Queen of Swords, sharp tongue, hmm not to be
Oh,
messed with, not to be messed with. Powerful,
we've
yeah.
been waiting for this redhead. We've gotten a couple of redheads, but I'm not
Mhm.
sure. I'm not sure she's come out for us to see just yet.
Yeah,
Now, all right. So, real quick, got a couple minutes left. This is Andrew's solar return chart. Oh, good Lord. Like, look at Andrew. This is, let me see. This is Charles, third house. This is whoever's going to be mad at you in your solar return year. And if there's some nice trines, nobody's going to be mad. But if it looks like this, and the third house lord, being Mars, is here. Oh my God. And then it's squaring Jupiter in Venus, which is as financial as you can get.
yeah,
This is lots and lots of jealousy, I think. Of course, I mean, it's King Charles,
yeah,
but it's in. Why would Charles? Why would Charles be jealous? That's weird. I would think it would be the other way around. Wait a minute. Let me double
yeah,
check on that. Right. So third house, and Andrew's getting something. North Node in the third house. This could be a new neighborhood, a new car, and also, yeah, this is Charles. This is Charles here, and there's just a lot of fighting. There's a lot of fighting about money and some kind of change or transition here. And also, the fifth house for Andrew, fifth house meaning family, is on Algol. So we've got, at least he thinks that, losing one's head, maybe the family loses their head over something. And Venus is in here. So it's almost like, this is devil energy right here. And it's conjunct Charles. So this is over the top revenge. And I wonder, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, is it all just about Epstein? I shouldn't say just, but what else is going on? Like, is there something else that Charles is taking Andrew to task for?
Hmm. These are so loose. Oh, the Devil card again. I,
Oh my God.
that is, and the Hermit again. I don't know how Harry might play into this. Knight of Wands. Um, this is about some kind of addictions. This is like, is it? I'm not sure what Andrew, outside of the tabloids and things in the storylines, but I don't know what he does. I really don't. But if there's something that he is invested in, that in his mind is his dream or something he is proud of, that is going to be challenged or attempted to be taken. It might be viewed as or discovered as an obsession versus something positive, like gambling is an example I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there some kind of gambling thing that
Or, or his love for horses.
something
Yes.
that he is very into but is removed? Yeah,
And the alcohol is addictions. This is
yeah.
massive, massive addictions, but it, with Charles being in there, being that Mars in there, actually, you know what? We
Mm,
could look at his 11th house, because it is the older brother. So the
yeah.
older brother is Pluto. So it doesn't
Ah,
make it any different. The 11th house lord is the older brother, and that's jealousy.
mm,
So, or I mean, it could be the monarchy and all of that, but
yeah,
yeah, fourth house is home, real
yeah.
estate. feeling at home. So anyway, with a chart like this, there are some things that could be good for him, but as far as the family and the home, it's better for him to not tap into that energy this year.
Yeah.
And then he's got part of fortune in the 8th house, which still means, oh wow, part of fortune for him is in Regulus. So can I ask one last question before we
Yeah.
go? This looks good. Like, we like benefics in the late degrees of Leo in our solar return charts. What kind of good news could this be for Andrew? Now, I think it might be in a square, so hopefully there's something. Find something.
Oh, well, that is actually, then I would say the outcome is the move wherever he's going. I mean, I don't think it's it's not an exile situation. It's not sending him, into oblivion, but the move might be farther than we would think. It's not as close. Like, he may end up somewhere that feels like it's exile, but it's really ultimately very good for him. With the 6 of Wands, King of Wands, it's like send him to the island and give him a title out in the middle of nowhere. It's that kind of that's in my mind. That's not for real. That's just what I'm helping me describe it. But that it's somewhere else, farther than we think, with that 2 of Wands. Yeah, it gives him a little bit more strength and power.
I wonder if it's Miami.
Oh, would it be Miami? Well, it's maybe across the water, somewhere off of the shores.
Maybe it's that apartment in New York.
Yeah, send him to that land of, I don't know. Yeah, well, very different.
This has been super intriguing. Thank you so much. Yet again, we got some good predictions here. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I know. And have a great weekend. Thanks, chat. And we'll see you soon.
Take care.